Greetings and salutations one and all. Welcome to the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. I do apologize for the tardiness, but I tell you, these devices sometimes have a mind of their own. All being well, we're good to go from this point on. It's always a joy when your devices decide that they're not gonna function just before you go on air. Kicking it off tonight, the sound of 5-star Akil. The track is called Feel Alright. Lie, it's called Feel Right. Five-star Akil says, it feel right. I know some people have issues with the lyrics of his chorus. Now listen, it's not that serious. I want to say thank you to each and everyone locked in right now. It's Healthy Love Night right here on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Big ups to those on TuneIn Radio, the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Those who are locked in across the pond, One Harmony Radio, top of the morning to you guys over there in the UK. Big up King Genius. I want to say blessed Earth Date, the musical genius. Celebrating his personal new year. Much love, bro. Big up to those who are locked in out of New York, Island Worldwide, China Nicole and crew. Mr. Sutherland, much love. Island Worldwide exhibiting the power of music. Much love. Big up to those out of New Jersey, NIE Radio. Motivator, big up his status. Big up to those who are locked in out of Texas. WGLRO, home of the Donny Walker Morning Show, the People's Station. Taking from the sheets to the streets. All Up Radio, Dusik Media Groups. All holding it down out of Texas. Big ups to those on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com out of South Florida. Those on Facebook Live, much love to you. Remember, it's only a segment. Big ups to those who are locked in right here at the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. Much love to you. Truly appreciate of you all. So glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. You have my word, I wouldn't even try. DJ Smooth, big up your status. Hey cuz, how you doing? Love you much. Hey Smooth, I'm going to do everything in my power to pass through to your event. Coming up this Saturday, Things and Things, DJ Smooth, Trust and Believe. It's on a 5-star Keel track called Feel Right. You say only you I want, girl. Nothing else. You full my belly. Nothing else to sustain me. That's what 5-star Akil says though. I don't say that necessarily because, you know, personally, I like my food on a plate. Afterwards, we can arrange things between you and I. After I get healthy, or after I sustain my health, then the love can come, right? That's why it's called healthy love. Yeah, DJ Smooth. Oh, it's not this Saturday, it's next Saturday. I remember seeing the flyer, you know, the dates. Boy, I tell you, I know coming closer to the weekend, I check up on what is happening and where, and those that I can attend and those that I can't. But I'll definitely be in touch, bro. Alright, so it's Healthy Love Night. And for those of you just joining in, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you. Tonight we're talking about antibodies. And I'm not talking about the bodies of our parents' sister. No, not that auntie. Antibodies that exist in our bodies that help to fight off things that are not supposed to be in our bodies. Hey Dora, much love to you, much love to the Brazil family. Glad you could join us. I see you pop in here as often as you can. Truly appreciate of you. All right, so of course, let me say this. I know I was leaving something out. Big ups to my segment sponsor, Paul C Media Group. When being in a moment is priceless, you want to give them a call. They take care of your videos, your photos, your streaming, your ads. They take care of my streaming, so I can have this that you see on kevinstew.com. Paul C Media Group helps to make that happen. Give them a call, 754-999-1140, or check them out at pulseemg.com. They can do your weddings, your funerals, your church services, your seminars, you name it. Call them up, see what they can do for you. Tell them you heard about them on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. All right? Cool. Thank you, Paul C Media Group. All right, so we're looking at antibodies tonight, and it's one of those things that we know they exist, but a lot of us don't really know what they do. And we don't realize, I guess, how important they are in the fight for our health. So first off, what is an antibody? Well, according to genome.gov, an antibody is a protein compound of the immune system that circulates in the blood, recognizes foreign substances like bacteria and viruses, and it neutralizes them. After exposure to a foreign substance, which is called an antigen, antibodies continue to circulate in the blood, providing protection against future exposures to that antigen. Now, antibody is a part of the host cell's defense. It's made by a certain type of white blood cell called a B cell. You have T cells and you have B. B as in boy. Now, before I go on much further, I can share with you what an antibody looks like. And that's not it. You know, I told you, these devices, when they do what they do, they mess up what you're supposed to do. Um, Now, while I fix this, I'll just ramble on for a little bit about what antibodies and how they work. Typically, we hear about them. We hear about antibodies and how they work to make us healthy or keep us healthy. And oftentimes, we look on and we don't really think about the work that the antibodies are doing because they exist and nobody really says, all right, so they do this, they stay for this long, and they help to keep us safe as we go on about our business on a regular. And so we end up missing out on the benefits of knowing how our antibodies work and how often they do the work. Because that's the other part, Our body is so well designed that it takes care of us without us knowing what is happening. So it operates in the background, kind of like the Secret Service. It's there. People know it's there, but they don't really know what exactly is happening and how exactly it's operating. And that's fine, because you don't need to know everything. You just need to know that you're protected. And that's how the antibodies pretty much function. They look basically like this. And what you have going on is an antigen binding fragment right here. You have your antigen that this binds to. And as we go through tonight, we will hear how antigens work, and how they do what they do when they do it. So, going back over here. Now, the antibody is a part of the host cell's defense. It's made by a certain type of white blood cell that is called a B cell. The structure of the antibody consists of 2 light chains and 2 heavy chains. And at the very tip of the antibody is a hypervariable region. And this hypervariable region allows the antibody to make different types of antibodies that will respond to all of the antigens that will assault the body. Really intelligent system. An antigen is anything that is foreign to the human body. It can be a virus, it can be a bacteria, and in some cases, it's our own bodies. And as you can have certain instances where your own body will make antigens against parts that are a part of you, which is where you have an autoimmune condition coming into play because your body is now attacking itself, basically. Hey Marvel, how you doing? So I'm glad that Marva can join us tonight because as a nurse, it doesn't get much better than the likes of someone like Marva chipping in and sharing with us. All right, so there are 3 functions, or let me say, the antibodies have certain roles. And there are 3 main functions that antibodies have. Now, antibodies are secreted into the blood and mucosa, where they bind to and inactivate foreign substances such as pathogens and toxins. That's what is called neutralization. Now, antibodies activate the complement system to destroy bacterial cells by lysis. What it does, it punches holes into the cell wall. So it contributes to a thing called apoptosis, spelled APOPTSOIS. SOSIS. Yeah. Apoptosis. Now, antibodies facilitate, this is the third thing that they do, third main function. They facilitate phagocytosis of foreign substances by phagocytic cells, which is called opsonization. Alright? So these things might sound kind of foreign to many of us, and rightly so. They should. So, taking a quick look at what that might look like. Let me put up this illustration for you as I talk about this for a minute. Now, antibodies and their 4 key features of the immune system kind of go like this. You have the specificity of antibodies, which they precisely recognize toxins and pathogens. You have diversity of antibodies, where they work against a variety of antigens pre-exist in the body. You have immunological memory. Where if it is exposed to, if the antigens appear in the body, the antibodies, show up in the body because of an antigen. When it is activated and it gets rid of that antigen, it remains in the body. So if it comes again, then it is there. And then you have immune tolerance, which cells and tissues are not normally attacked. Not normally, but it happens. So, looking back at this illustration, here you see neutralization, which was mentioned earlier. You see opsonization. You see complement recruitment by antibodies. All showing up here in this illustration. Alright? Now, another interesting thing when it comes to antibodies is diversity and immunological memory. You have tens to thousands of millions of different B cells that are circulating in the body, so that every antigen is recognized. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? And rightly so. Again, it's a really intelligent system. So it has to have quite a few moving parts to be as intelligent as it is. Now, basically what is happening is the body is prepared for the invasion of pathogens by processing B cells, by having B cells that produce unique antibody molecules that feature, and this feature is called antibody diversity. Now, after an infection, the cells producing pathogen-specific antibodies multiply and increase proportionally. As a result, the body is protected from repeated infection. This feature is called immunological memory. Now, antibody-producing B cells are produced in the bone marrow and mature in the periphery. During B cell maturation, the antibody genes, the immunoglobulin genes, undergo recombination, generating an enormous repertoire of antigen binding sites, the variable region. Now, this phenomenon is called gene rearrangement. Just sharing a little bit about how antibodies work if you're just joining in. The gene locus encoding the H chain variable region contains an array of about 100 to 300 V gene segments, about 25 D gene segments, and 6 J gene segments. One of each of the V, D, and J gene segments are selected and joined together. The gene locus encoding the L chain variable region, there are where you have two loci, K and theta. And the K locus consists of an array of about 40 V, 5J, 40 V and 5J segments. And the theta locus consists of an array of about 30 V and 4J segments. One each of the V and J gene segments are selected and joined together. Now, immunoglobulin to countless antigens are produced from a limited number of genes by recombination of gene segments. And gene rearrangements occur during T cell maturation in the thymus. Now, you might wonder, why don't tens to thousands of millions of B cells recognize and attack self-tissues? Well, pretty much what happens is antibodies recognize all types of antigens except self-antigens. And this feature is called immune tolerance. And B cells that react to self-antigens are generated but are eliminated within the bone marrow. Even if some autoreactive B cells evade the elimination process and reach to the periphery, those B cells that produce antibodies to self-antigens, which are called autoantibodies, are inactivated by another mechanism, including regulation by TREGs. When these mechanisms are disrupted, autoimmune disease develops, characterized by immune cell-mediated self-tissue attack. Possible causes of autoimmune disease include viral infection, high fever, pregnancy, and the recently proposed abnormalities in the intestine microbiome. However, the details of the mechanism remain unknown. So, just a little bit of an overview of that bit of information when it comes to the functions of antibodies. What we're gonna do is take a quick little break. Kujo, blessings, bro. How you doing? When we come back, we're gonna do a quick run over of the immune system. Well, before I get to the immune systems, there was a question that I came across as I was looking for information to cover this, and the question is, how do antibodies destroy what happens when an antigen comes into play? And it was asked in such a way that it is believed that antigens produce a substance when they invade the body. So we're going to answer that question when we come back from the break. All right? And then we're going to look at how the immune system functions a little bit later on. Call your friends, tell your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. The night shift to DJ Kevin Stew is on. It's Healthy Love Night. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we'll talk some more. y'all come over to kevinstew.com, those of you watching on Facebook Live, because this is where that segment comes to an end. 773-789 Stew is the number that gets you in touch. I should have given it to you earlier, but I'm giving it to you now, and I'll give it to you again. 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram. Link up, share with me if you have some information, because you work in the health industry and you'd like to share some information other than how I am presenting it. Please come on in. If you've had a situation where you yourself have had an autoimmune condition, or you have one, share with us what that is like. Share with us what doctors have said to you, what you've learned over time, so that we can all have a better understanding. Because again, this is where you come to have acceptance through enlightenment, and the enlightenment is the understanding part. That way we can be more aware and possibly relate to each other a little better. Yeah? Cool. We'll be right back after these few messages.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
It takes an entire village to raise a child. Hello, I'm Paul Campbell, here to talk about PALACE. Peace and Love Academic Scholarship. This non-profit group supports students facing serious obstacles from entering or continuing their studies, not because the grades are failing, but due to the lack of financial support.
Over the past 8 years, PALACE has awarded 600 scholarships valued at approximately 50.3 million Jamaican dollars, or 415,000 US dollars.
Together, we must build a better future for our children. Please visit www.palace1.org and make your donation to brighten the future of a deserving child. PALACE, preserving young minds for posterity.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
Imagine having our own Caribbean Center.
Imagine a museum highlighting our history and the contributions of Caribbean people to the world.
Imagine being able to visit and learn about the islands we call home.
In a place where our kids can see and feel their cultural heritage. you can make this vision come to life.
Help us create this first of its kind space
that all Caribbean people can be proud of. Your contribution to Island Space Caribbean Museum will help this dream come true.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe and donate today.
Yes, my people. Check out I Red Funks on Reggae Global Radio every Saturday at 8 p.m. with Kev Stew. I'll give you a pre-life. Brand new. Good for you. Kick it like a ball if you don't say a dance song. You hear that?
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Selassie DJ Kevin Stew.
From the start, I would never break your heart. Don't listen to everything they say. You know that I ain't out there playing. Number one on the chart. You know how to leave your mark. You're still asking me if I'm staying, but it don't need explaining. You and me together, it will be forever. Unbreakable, but we have unbreakable. You and me together. Champagne up, everything must smile. Oh, you're so bad, but look so simple. Smile that they got showing off your dimples. You a bad girl, we do bad girl things. Say you want a real G. Give it to her good, she a beg for some more. She wanna feel me. You and me together, it will be forever. Unbreakable, but we have unbreakable. You and me together, it will be forever. Unbreakable. Every time I'm with you, baby, you drive me crazy. Checking up on you lately, thinking about you daily. We can get high on a natural high, escape reality. Real talk, girl, it ain't no lie. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. You and me together, it will be forever. Unbreakable.
Welcome back to the broadcast. In the background, the sound of Lindo. Track called Unbreakable.
We have unbreakable. You was my girl from the start. I will never break your heart.
I want to say thank you for sticking and staying. If you're just joining us, welcome to the broadcast. Thank you to my segment sponsor, Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience.
Checking up on you lately.
Give her a call, 954-655-9000.
Get high on a natural.
That's 954-655-9000. You can email her at thealater@att.net. Make your appointment today. She's also a personal trainer, certified. So go ahead and link her up. See what she can do for you. So you heard about her on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, yeah? Outside of paying out there, the only thing that she requests is that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. Because I always fall asleep. I endorse that request.
Just still asking me if I'm staying, but it don't need it.
Numbers to call, numbers to text, 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. Let me hear from you.
Together, it will be forever.
tonight as we talk about antibodies. Big ups to the affiliates once more. Much love to you. Musical genius, I hope you're enjoying your Earth date. Well, you know what? Your Earth date has passed by now because you're in the UK and right now it's the day after. But much love to you anyway. Alright, so continuing where we left off earlier, looking at antibodies. The question was posed on Socratic.org. And the question is, how do the antibodies destroy the substance produced by antigen? Now, first of all, in answering that question, antigens are molecules the immune system considers foreign, which then elicits an immune response. The antigens can be a part of or produced by pathogens, such as bacteria and viruses. The antigens themselves do not produce any substance, as was stated in the question. Antibodies are made to recognize specific parts of antigens. Now, antibodies act in various ways. They usually act to neutralize or block pathogens as they act as signals for other immune cells. Now, we have an image here, which, yeah, again, it's another interactive broadcast. So, here's what it looks like, what is happening, which shows the major modes of actions, and we'll go through and explain them real quickly. First, you have your cell toxicity, which you see in the top left-hand side there. The antibody binds to the antigen and on an intruder or an abnormal infected cell, which is the pink cell in this image. It acts as a flag for other immune cells that can produce chemicals that kill the unwanted target cell. So you see the antibody right here working on the cell right here, that is the antigen, and it is signaling for the next mechanism, which is phagocytosis. Now, this is similar to the previous thing that happened, the cell toxicity. Only in this case, the antibody bound to the antigen recruits phagocytes. These phagocytes can engulf the unwanted cell and degrade it. Then you have what is called opsonization. This is where the antibody coats the surface of a bacterium. In this case, it is this green thing here, making it easier for phagocytic cells to attack. Here you have opsonization. Then you have activation of complement, which is where the antibody binds to an abnormal cell or an infected cell, which activates the complement system. Complement proteins can kill the cell immediately, or it attracts phagocytes. So here are your complement cells attacking the cell that is your antigen. Then you have crosstalk with receptor signaling. That's what's happening here. And in this case, the antibodies can intercept the antigens, preventing them from binding to host cells. Antibodies can also bind to receptors of abnormal cells or pathogens to shut down the communication and prevent further spreading of the infection. And with viruses, you then have proteins. The viruses have proteins on their surface which they need to enter the host cell in order to replicate and spread. Antibodies can bind to the viruses, thus making them harmless, which is what you see happening here with virus neutralization. So there you have that question answered in short order. Now, I can't say that prior to this I've ever really seen it explained this quickly and this easily, but there you have it in the short version. Now, when it comes to, I guess we can revisit the biological function of antibodies. Looking back and redefining again, that sounds redundant. Redefining and what an antibody is. It's an immunoglobulin produced by the body's immune system and stimulated by antigen to proliferate and differentiate from B lymphocytes or memory cells and specifically bind to the corresponding antigen. This is more of a scientific explanation, yeah? So the major biological functions of antibodies, which we touched on earlier, but this one gets a little bit more detailed. You have specific binding of the corresponding antigen, antibody, hypervariable region, and antigenic determinants of the three-dimensional structure must be consistent in order to bind the antibody, and the antigen binding is highly specific. Antibody molecules that specifically bind antigen can mediate a variety of physiological and pathological effects in vivo. Antibody and antigen binding by non-covalent bonds is reversible, and electrolyte concentration, pH temperature, and integrity of the antibody structure can affect the ability of antibodies and antigen binding. The binding valence of IgG is bivalent. The binding valence of IgM is theoretically decavalent, but is practically pentavalent due to steric hindrance, and the dimeric IgA is tetravalent. Now, if those things don't mean anything to you, don't feel bad. You can go ahead and look it up. Again, the same way I find my information, you can too. Now, with the activation of complement, which we had mentioned just now, and you saw that in the diagram, when the IgG1, IgG2, IgG3, and IgM antibody molecules specifically bind to the corresponding antigen, their conformation changes. The complement of the implementation binding site, CH2 of IgM or CH2 of IgG, is bound to CLQ, and the complement system is activated by the traditional pathway. Now, this information you can find on creativediagnostics.com. For those of you wondering, where is Stu finding this information? I'm bringing it from. Check out creativediagnostics.com. Where was I? Just lost my section just now. Now, for IgG, at least two closely adjacent IgG molecules are needed to activate complement when they are bound to corresponding antigens. Aggregates of other Ig molecules such as IgG4, IgA, these activate complement by alternative pathways. Human natural anti-A and anti-B blood group antibody is IgM. And when blood group does not meet the blood transfusion, the antigen body reaction activates complement hemolysis, causing rapid and serious transfusion reactions. If you're wondering why it is that some people don't react well to some blood transfusions, that's why. I think it's important that I share with you the classifications of antibodies, just so that you can have an idea of that what I was talking about with the IgM and the IgG. All right, so there are 5 types of heavy chain constant regions in antibodies. The 5 types are IgG, IgM, IgA, IgD as in dog, and IgE as in egg. And there are isotopes classified according to the type of heavy chain constant region and are distributed and function differently in the body. IgG is the main antibody in the blood. It is the only isotope that can pass through the placenta. And IgG, transferred from the mother's body, protects a newborn until a week after birth. IgG widely distributed to the blood and tissue and protects the body. IgM is made up of 5 antibodies. IgM has a key role in the initial immune system. It is distributed to the blood. IgA is secreted and is made up of 2 antibodies. It is distributed to serum, nasal discharge, saliva, breast milk, and bowel fluid. Breast milk protects the gastrointestinal tract of newborns from bacterial and viral infection, which is considered maternal immunity. Now, you might remember I was talking about this last week. Well, actually, last month when I had the lactation consultant, Dr. Lexi, when she was on, she mentioned breastfeeding and the importance of it, even for in currently virus infected mothers, those infected with COVID-19, to be breastfeeding still. And if you check the information that is out there, you will see where this is like a big deal. So much so that there was a run on human breast milk because people were trying to buy it. So, because of how potent breast milk is when it comes to producing antibodies, I'm guessing that is why there was such a run on it. But if you're doing the right things to stay healthy, if you're eating right, if you're sleeping right, if you're exercising, if you're taking breaks when you're on the job, if your job is sedentary, you're getting up very often and stretching and changing your position from time to time and such, these things contribute to good health. If you maintain good gut health, then that is where that's a foundation of optimal overall health. So, coming back to this information, courtesy of Kyokirin.com. It's KYOWAKIRIN. Kyokirin.com. IgD is present on the surface of B cells and play a role in the induction of antibody production. IgE is believed to be related to immunity reactions to parasites and has recently become known as a key factor of allergies such as pollinosis. Now, recently, let me see how recently this was. This was... I can't... They didn't put that information. I know I was looking for something earlier and I couldn't find it. Not too sure how recent they consider recently to be. But they said it was recent. Now, when you look at the population of the 5 types of antibodies in the blood, the spread is kind of interesting. So here we go. You have 70 to 75% of IgG, approximately 10% of IgM, about 10 to 15% of IgA. IgD has 1% or less, and IgE 0.001% or less. And if we go back to that information real quick about what each of them, the roles each of them play, the IgE, which has 0.001%, is believed to be related to immunity reactions to parasites and has become known as a key factor of allergies such as pollinosis. So if you have gone to a specialist when it comes to looking at allergies, and you hear them talking about your IgE levels as it relates to antibodies, you kind of have an idea now what they're talking about. Now, again, it is up to you, the individual, to find more information about what is being talked about when it comes to your health. Because nobody can look out for your health like you can. So it's important that you find as much information as you can. We're going to take another quick little break. When we come back, we're going to look at the immune system. And then we're going to get into musical therapy a little bit later on. Right? Cool. So call your friends, tell your friends. Healthy Love on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is happening right now. We'll be right back.
Smile. Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless. Greetings and salutations. This is DJ Kevin Stew inviting you to bubble up and simmer down with me in the Saturday Stew right here on Reggae Global Radio. Get ready for the special segment called The Secret Ingredient, where you may hear from your favorite artist or producer. Saturday Stew happens every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time exclusively on ReggaeGlobalRadio.com, where we get high on reggae. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links,
www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Yes. Akar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
Chris Malachi. Don't know how far the finish line is, how many miles until I see it. Counting my blessings just like an addict, running them down, trying to score, calming my nerves. I'm preserve. I am yet. In this life couldn't burn sharper. Thankful that I'm seeing clearly, no drama. Can't stop the vision what me born for. Learning every day that my journey's harder. And I know if you feel the same, give praises to the Most High. For the race is not for the swift, but those who can endure. The battle is not for the strong, I'm telling you for sure. Keep your faith, yeah. I know that God is great, yeah. The race is not for the swift, the journey is another gift, yeah. Whoa. Right time for setting like this and go be the law. Thinking of a master plan, we cannot do without. Kingston to Mobile, we'll find a better route. Then we'll fly up on a tour away the bucket list, then oh yeah. Family and future for secure. Greatness in you know, but the logic quick enough and show. Yeshua, I flow through your bones. Run out your own pace and seek a better way. The race is not for the swift, but those who can endure. The battle is not for the strong, I'm telling you for sure.
Son of Mark Anthony working out with Chris Malachi.
Keep your faith, yeah. I know that
the track is called Endure.
The race is not for the swift. The journey is another.
The race is not for the swift, and the journey is another gift.
Keep your faith.
I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast.
This is not for the swift. The journey.
Reggae Global Entertainment will take care of your bookings, handle your tour management, handle your copyrights, publishing, business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and so much more. Go ahead and give them a call, 954-804-8199. That's 954-804-8199. Or check them out online, reggaeglobalentertainment.com. Tell them DJ Kevin Steele sent you.
Those who can endure. The battle is not for the strong, I'm telling you for sure. Keep your faith, yeah. I know that God is great, yeah. The race is not for the swift. The journey is another gift, yeah. The race is not for the swift, but those who can endure. The battle is not for the strong.
The race is not for the swift.
So keep your faith.
Keep your faith.
The race is not for the swift.
And it's a good thing the race is not for the swift, you know, because if everything happened as quickly as that and it didn't, the human system wasn't one that could endure, trust and believe. We wouldn't be here today to talk about anything.
I know that God is good. The race is not for the swift. The journey is another gift.
Yeah, the journey is quite a gift. Just like life, which is why you're encouraged to live in the present. Yeah? The gift of the present. Alright, so we're looking at the immune system. We're looking at antibodies tonight, and to kind of wrap up things and put a little bow on it, we're looking at the immune system. An infection can be seen as a battle between the invading pathogens and the host. Our bodies are equipped to fight off invading microbes that can cause disease. And these are called our natural defenses. Now, The first line of defense is a non-specific is non-specific and aims to stop microbes from entering the body. The skin and mucous membranes act as a physical barrier, preventing penetration by microbes. Now, if the skin is cut, then the blood produces a clot which seals the wound and prevents microbes from entering. See how that works? Now, of course, before the clot happens, there's the possibility that with an open wound it can get infected and cause problems. But because of how the human body is designed, it calls other things into action. The surfaces of the body, the skin, the digestive system, and the lining of the nose are covered by a community of microbes called normal body flora. They help protect the host from becoming infected with more harmful microorganisms by acting as a physical barrier. The normal body flora colonizes these linings, which reduces the area available for pathogens to attach to and become established. It also means that the harmful microbes that have to compete with the normal body flora for nutrients. Again, they're living organisms and need certain key things to survive. The average human gut contains around 1 kilo of these good bacteria, which is equivalent to 1 bag of sugar. Okay. All right, I'll leave it alone. I won't go there. Now, the respiratory system, the nose and passageways leading to the lungs, this is lined with cells that produce sticky fluid called mucus that traps invading microbes and dust. Tiny hairs called cilia move in a wave-like motion that waft the microbes and dust particles up to the throat, where they're either coughed or sneezed out, or even swallowed and then passed out the body in feces. Yeah. Don't think that if you swallow it only does causes more problems. No, the body is so designed that one way or another, these microbes will be expelled unless something is not functioning right. Then you have a problem. Or if the microbes overwhelm what is supposed to happen, and then you have an infection. The body produces several antimicrobial substances that kill or stop microbes from growing. For example, the enzyme in tears and saliva break down bacteria. The stomach produces acid which destroys many of the microbes that enter the body in food and drink. Urine, as it flows through the urinary system, flushes microbes out of the bladder and the urethra. So, again, the human body is so designed, so intricately designed, that it protects itself. And it protects itself well. It's just that we need to do certain things to make sure that the human body is working, or our bodies are working the way they're supposed to. Now, there's a second line of defense. If microbes do damage to get inside the body, then the second line of defense is activated. This is also non-specific as it stops any type of microbe. Phagocytes are a type of white blood cell that move by amoeboid action. So you think of amoebas, your phagocytes move like amoebas, which is why they say it's amoeboid action. Now, they send out pseudopodia, which allows them to surround invading microbes and engulf them. Phagocytes release digestive enzymes which break down the trapped microbes before they can do any harm. This process is called, as you might remember, phagocytosis. Cool. Glad you're all keeping notes. We'll be done in no time. Now, there is a third line of defense. Now, this third line of defense happens to be the final line of defense. It is the immune response. The invading microbe or pathogen is called an antigen. It is regarded as a threat by the immune system and is capable of stimulating an immune response. Antigens are proteins that are found on the surface of the pathogen. Antigens are unique to that pathogen. The whooping cough bacterium, for example, will have different antigens on its surface from the tuberculosis bacterium. When an antigen enters the body, the immune system produces antibodies against it. Antibodies are always Y-shaped. It is like a battle with the army, the antibody, fighting off the invader, the antigen. A type of white blood cell called a lymphocyte recognizes the antigen as being foreign and produces antibodies that are specific to that antigen. Each antibody has a unique binding site shape which locks onto the specific shape of the antigen. The antibodies destroy the antigen, which is your pathogen, which is then engulfed and digested by macrophages, and of course expelled by the body. White blood cells can also produce chemicals called antitoxins. These antitoxins destroy the toxins. Purpose solved. Some bacteria produce the toxins that some bacteria produce when they have invaded the body. This is what the antitoxins attack. They target them. Tetanus, diphtheria, and scarlet fever are all diseases where the bacteria secretes toxins, which is why you find people from mostly the tropics, but generally everybody gets the TTD shots. Tetanus, diphtheria, and something else, which is, or is that one the TB shot? The same TB shot. Well, the TB shot tends to be a little bit different, but people from the Caribbean and tropics tend to get the TB shots. Anyway, once invading microbes have been destroyed, the immune response winds down. So it calms down and the policing happens again. You don't have to call out the military because everything is being monitored. Once a person has had a disease, they don't normally catch it again because the body produces memory cells that are specific to that antigen. I'll say that again. Once a person has had a disease, they don't normally catch it again because the body produces memory cells that are specific to that antigen. The memory cells remember the microbe which caused the disease and rapidly make the correct antibody if the body is exposed to infection again. The pathogen is quickly destroyed, preventing symptoms of the disease from recurring. Or, in the case of cutting off some infections at the knees, prevents it from occurring. Now, this is not to say an individual is not infected. What they're saying is the body is fighting off the symptoms of that infection by way of destroying the antigen before they populate so much that the body is weakened to a point of dis-ease. Now, however it is that you want to take this information and use it, that is up to you. If you want to use this information as a starting point to get more information, perfect. Because, again, my job here is to stimulate your appetite and not satisfy your hunger. So when I'm done, you should have more questions. And if you do have more questions, then you can find answers the same way I do. Ask a medical professional that you may know, that is objective. Not the ones that get bought out by Big Pharma, but one that is objective and honest. Do your research. When you find information, don't just go off the first bit of information that you find. Find additional bits of information. Compare and contrast, and you may be able to pull some information that you then present to someone that is in the medical field that you can ask more questions. But what you should never, ever stop doing, in my opinion, you should never stop asking questions. Why would you want to? What sense does that make? We need to be growing, and one of the ways that we grow is we ask more questions. So, questions were designed to be asked, right? So if questions are made to be asked, why not ask them? Simple. No rocket science to it. And if someone is telling you that you shouldn't ask questions, that's a problem. I'm sorry, I had missed that comment, Kujo. You take a lot of medication because of a respiratory issue. And so that involves steroids. And typically, my younger son had to be on quite a bit of steroids for a respiratory issue also. And this is pre-COVID. And those steroids caused him to put on weight. Again, now you have things contributing to that. You have your inactivity, which contributes to that. And being on lockdown, yeah. But again, I said this was pre-COVID. With having the respiratory infection, and my sons spending more time with their mother than they do with me. We're not together anymore. They would spend a lot of time indoors. And again, because it's a respiratory infection, you think, they shouldn't be running around. However, individuals with asthma, a good form of exercise is swimming. You would think initially, well, you have a respiratory condition like asthma that prevents you from breathing, you're going to do something that you have to hold your breath. Well, why not? Ask the doctors. Let them explain it to you. Don't ask me. I'm a DJ, not a DR. But seriously though, a lot of the things that we do because we think that it is better for us actually do the reverse and are quite detrimental to us. So if at any point in time you are trying something that can aid in the positive in a positive contribution to your health, feel it out. Try it out in small quantities, whether it be a type of exercise or a supplement. Feel it out first. See how you react to it. Because I could take that supplement or I could do that exercise and it works wonderfully for me. But you and I are not the same. And so when people tell you about these solutions to these health issues that work for some, it will not work for all. Try a little bit of this, try a little bit of that. Find out what works for your blood type. Get a diet or try to curb your diet to suit your blood type, because different blood types work better with certain types of diets. But you have some key things. And Nurse Marva Riley, you can look her up, you can hit her up whenever she jumps onto this broadcast. She has a book called Eat, Sleep, Meditate, where, because of her own personal experience, she put this book together. Because she was at death's door herself. And changing her lifestyle, eating right, sleeping right, and doing things like meditating. So whether it is in the form of taking a walk or exercising or just being still. These three things, in its simplest form, helped to save her life. You can connect with her. You can look in the archives on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew on YouTube. For when I spoke with her, we've spoken on several occasions. Look her up. Get the book. Eat, Sleep, Meditate. A Nurse's Guide to Good Health. Tell her DJ Kevin Stew sent you. We're going to have a little bit of an extended musical therapy. Not extended by much, about 5 minutes. This is the sound of Paul Anthony. The track is called Love Hurts. It's musical therapy time.
I don't wanna wait in vain. Love hurts, but I love the pain. Shots of Novocaine through my brain. I'm about to go insane. I don't wanna lose you, baby. If I did it would drive me crazy. Without you everything seems easy. Stay close to me where you're supposed to be. You say I'm selfish cause I need you for myself. It's bad for my health, girl, but I don't want nobody else, yeah. And I know I could be a little extreme. You brighten up my world like I beam. Enough of them must say, oh, love is blinding, but you bring the clarity like me visine. The girl of my dreams, I melt like ice cream. Anytime you're around, I'm in the presence of a queen. You show me love that's sweet like 16. Or a fruit from a tree, or a cool summer breeze, yeah. Right. That's why me can't stand to lose you. But you're moving away and I can feel it. Now you're telling me you need some space. My mind just start figure race. That's why I don't wanna wait in vain. Love hurts, but I love the pain. Shots of Novocaine through my brain. I'm about to go insane. I don't wanna lose you, baby. If I did it would drive me crazy. Without you everything seems easy. Stay close to me where you're supposed to be. Don't give up on me, no. Can't let the negativity come between us, girl. I know you got your fears, anxiety and despair. Talk to me, don't push me away. I need to hear all the words you've got to say. We can take it day by day. So baby, won't you just stay? If you leave me, I will cry until me eye them run dry. Can't sit down cause you know why I'm a stand-up guy. Without you, every little thing won't be alright. Now, through the darkness, you were my light. So right to know I'm just lost in the night. I might be okay, then again I may never, cause we belong together. You know that I don't wanna wait in vain. Love hurts, but I love the pain. Shots of Novocaine through my brain. I'm about to go insane. I don't wanna lose you, baby. If I did it would drive me crazy. Without you everything seems easy. Stay close to me where you're supposed to be.
It's not just what you say, it's what you do. The things you do will come around to you.
27 minutes after the hour.
He's reaching for the stars while on the moon.
This is Denver Downer.
In life you've got to learn from what
The track is called Always.
If living and learning. Early love, from me get a one burning love. Never two in a nothing concerning love. While I'm earning crumbs, giving my 99 plus 1. Say baby, have faith, she said no, she can't wait. Don't know where so much attitude coming from. I heard thoughts about she leaving. Just like that, she start revealing. A rich man will work, I see spring. Would I lose if me start move off her feelings? But it's alright, my work day and night. Things picking up, me start a new life. She said, babes, on the gram, you look clean and nice. And the way she feel now, she want to be my wife. But it's not just what you say, it's what you do. The things you do will come around to you. Always reaching for the stars, fall on the moon. In life you got to learn from what you lose. I know a lady says she been married for more than 15 years. I said she cried more than 15 tears. I said what happened? She said too many lies. Start realize that the hobby been so caught up. Screwing everybody with no caution. Never around this side the kids have no father. No tech talk, same live and I no other. Him a go harder. She said she never even tried to force it. Never take long before she filed divorce. And like a music stream, life played its course. And now Miss Casanova start feel remorse because she kept keeping at it. Nothing overnight, it never automatic. I know the kids graduate, nothing short of magic. And Miss ex-husband want back the marriage. It's not a tragedy. It's not just what you say, it's what you do. The things you do will come around to you. Always reaching for the stars, fall on the moon. In life you got to learn from what you lose. Always. Say him not laugh with it. If you live long enough, you say mama I did it. Him want everything this life can give him, but every day him get up play game Vice City. No balance with pleasure and priority. The people who get it fall in the minority. Couple years pass, same life, no clarity. You coulda reached far, what a big disparity. It looked like it never that serious. Nah, it never did see it. Try, get him out of that sleep. Show him my one meds, but it never that deep. Hustle hard for the things that you need. Plus you want to live big before your funeral keep. Him see the Benz drive out of the pretty White House. And I ask God, what about me? Well, it's not just what you say, it's what you do. The things you do will come around to you. Always reaching for the stars, fall on the moon. In life you got to learn from what you lose. Always, it's not just what you say, it's what you do. The things you do will come around to you. Always reaching for the stars, fall on the moon. In life you got to learn from what you lose.
The sound of Denver Dona. The track is called Always. Such a smooth groove. As we bounce through this musical therapy, I want to say thanks to McNeil Trucking for sponsoring this segment. Yeah, nice and easy. I'm gonna have to talk to Denver about this one. Kind of make you want to just stay with it and not do anything else, doesn't it?
Strictly rock as I am. Not you, Jenny.
This is Tenille working out with Fiona. Their rendition of I'm in Love, courtesy of J Vibe Music Productions. But I just love when J Vibe put his hands on something. It ends up sounding something like this.
That I live for.
there's no other way that we can never let it go. And if you see the things I see, you will see that it's you and me for eternity. I'm in love with you.
Best believe I'm in love with you. Totally in love with you, each and every one of you. I want to say thanks to my affiliates. I love you guys the most. One Harmony Radio, NIE Radio, Island Worldwide, WGLRO, Oliwap Radio, Dusik Media Group, CR7. Sometimes I leave you out, though. I don't forget you though. Still love you. Truly appreciate love each and every one of you. PEMGTV.com. Enough love, trust and believe. This is Marcia J Ball working out with our Rajani. Another love song.
Shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you, and I don't wanna let go. Your love is my resource, my constant comfort zone, and I come to you whenever I'm feeling all alone. You never let me down. You always lift up my spirit. So grateful that you're with me. Emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you, and I don't wanna let go. I look forward to every day, even days you stay away. Couldn't have you falling prey to someone else's charms. I love it when you're near me, love. That's when I think clearly, love. I know this might seem selfish, but I really do not care. When you work on trust and you don't stop, ride the waves of love and build it up. Take a leap of faith and don't give in. Love one another. If your love is like an open door, make sure you get what you're looking for. Grab a hold on life and don't let go. Love one another. I'm so caught up in another love song, praying that it never goes wrong. Floating on a melody of what it really feels to be love. Moments of emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you, and I don't wanna let go. Your love is my resource, my love and comfort zone. And I come to you whenever I'm in my world. Oh yeah.
This is Phil Watkins working out with Anne Marie.
It's been a while since I've been trying to get you.
Track called Give You My Love.
You deny and I keep trying. Someday I gotta make you mine. Don't listen to what people say. Rumors won't get us anywhere. I've got so much love to share. Like make a child my own. Let me give you my love. Let me give you my love. Let me satisfy all your needs. Lying on my mind, I love you from a long time, but in my thinking about you.
This is Korik. That timeless classic, Everything I Own.
You sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm. You gave my life to me, set me free. You set me free. The finest years I ever knew are all the years I spent with you. I would give everything I own, give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own, yeah, just to have you back again, just to talk to you once again. And if there's someone you know that won't let you go and is taking it all for granted, you might lose them one day. Someone takes them away and they don't hear a word you say. And I would give everything I own, give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own, just to have you back again, just to talk to you once again. Hey, hey, I want you back, baby. My house is not a home without you. Got me feeling so lonely.
Boy, things are never the same when that little thing gets taken away, is it? This is on a G-Mac. His rendition of Kissing You.
Thinking of you, that's all I seem to do. When you're not here, I long to hold you near. Baby, this time together we must spend, holding you close, taking time to let you know. Tonight's the night we will share. Turn off the lights, come close to me. Tell me I'm all you ever need. Tell me it's not just a dream. And if it is, my heart believes that you are mine, and this is real. Loving you all through the night. Share my love. It will be alright. Together, kissing you. Loving you all through the night. Share my love. It will be alright, yeah. What's better than a love that's made for two? I cannot count the ways I feel for you, but you should know, and starting from today, from this point on, my love is here to stay. Lie close to me, hold on, let's make love all night long. Baby, I'm yours, take all of me. I'll never try to bring you down. My love gaze upon the stars, wishing that I could hold you tightly in my arms.
This is a production from the birthday boy himself, courtesy of one.
To look into your eyes and see that smile upon your face.
One Harmony Music.
And you on the days when the clouds cover the sun, knowing that
This is Lady Tia.
will longer be having fun. Please tell me how to mend this broken heart.
The One Harmony Radio family celebrating the Earth days of the genius himself, King Genius. Lady Tia, the track called Come On Home.
Please come back home. I miss you. No longer will I really miss you. This house is not a home. Please come back home. I'm giving back your love and rebuild our trust. Waiting to hold you again. This is an absolute love. I'll give everything to turn back the hands of time. Back in the days when you were mine, all mine. I miss you. Please come back home. I miss you. No longer will I really miss you.
Much respect, Cujo.
This house is not a home. Please come back home. There is no use in us trying to fool ourselves. We can live this life with anyone else. I'll be patient 'cause I know just what I want. Stop blaming me, finding all kinds of fault. We have invested too much of our hearts and souls. So baby, please complete me and make me whole. I miss you. Please come back home. I miss you. No longer will I really miss you. This house is not a
I don't know if we can dance all night, but that's the title of this track right here, courtesy of Tanya Asaki, working out with Freddie McGregor.
Hey, little darling, here I am tonight, my love. I brought you all my loving, all that you could need and more. Yeah. What are you waiting for to get this thing started? Don't be waiting on no Marvin Gaye, 'cause I'm the music and you're the wine, yeah. So come dance all night to my music and let me feel your wine as the heat climbs. So come dance all night to my music and let us reach that joy together. Good morning, honey. Did you sleep all right? I slept like a baby 'cause it felt so nice. 'Cause you are so wonderful. And I am so blessed. So you have to go to work. I'll cancel my studio time. Can't you call and say you're not feeling fine? So we can spend the day in our paradise. So come dance all night to my music.
the sound of Mr. Goose Pimples himself, Ian Sweetness. Track called She Fell in Love.
It's your love of songs I'm singing. Now she can feel the powers of my melodies. Your style and comprehension, you change your way of singing. You've gone from B to Z. She say your voice is full of tenderness. Excuse me, and she must confess. Ooh, I made her day. The first time she heard me singing there, ooh, she could not compare. She wanted me no other way. She fell in love. She only hear my voice and it was right. So good to believe. That's why she fell in love. She only hear my voice and it was right. So good to believe.
I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure.
This is singer Irie.
Know that I'll phone you, baby.
It's called Love Like This.
Search no more. I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure. Know that I'll phone you, my lady. I don't have to search no more. In the morning you wake me up with a kiss, yeah. Greets me with a hug when I come from work. I know that I've made the right choice. Oh, what a woman so nice. Let me love you for the rest of my life. Let me say this again now. I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure. Know that I'll phone you, baby. I don't have to search no more. I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure. Know that I'll phone you, my lady. I don't have to search no more. I know you're an angel sent by God, yeah. Oh, yeah. You do it right every time, oh, baby. Oh, yeah. You judge my mind and soul. My baby, you're in full control. I just wanna tell you, I love you more and more, yeah. I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure. Know that I'll phone you, baby. I don't have to search no more. I never met anyone like you before, with a mind and a heart so clean and pure. Know that I'll phone you, my lady. I don't have to search no more.
First time she blessed my hands, clean and clean, got the wicked and the deep.
Son of Mason the Emperor. Track called Lovers Rock as we bounce on out of here tonight. I do want to say thank you for your support, thank you for sharing. I do encourage you to continue supporting the various broadcasts of the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, the podcast, the YouTube channel, and of course the website kevinstew.com. I truly appreciate love you. Encouraging you to look out for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just the development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So whether you walk, ride, or drive, take the bus, the plane, the boat, or the train, the people you pass along the way, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stew. This is how I like to do it to you, for you, and with you right here, 10 p.m. Eastern, on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. The website, kevinstew.com. The podcast and the YouTube, the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Thanks to the affiliates once more: NIE Radio, Island Worldwide, One Harmony Radio, WGLRO, Oliwap Radio, Dusik Media Groups, the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com, PEMGTV.com. Much love to you.
She lay back in on them arms, close her eyes and start to rock. She says she loved the love is rock, yeah.
As I bounce on out of here. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you, wherever you are in the world, from right here in South Florida. I bid you all a good night. Take care until tomorrow. We do healthy love. No, lie, that was tonight. We do real talk. Peace and love, y'all. Take care.
Only life we have until the book upon this magnificent empress full of joy and happiness. On Valentine's Day, she born with Cupid in her mix. Shot one arrow to me heart, couldn't miss. Her aim was perfect from the start. Never prayed she would fall in love with me. Top shelf, dolly, surely outside Millie. Never did she make me feel inferior. She make me feel superior. She give me everlasting bliss. But she says she loved the lovers rock, yeah.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.